Welcome back, guys. Today we took a weekend trip starting on Wednesday. We drove to New Orleans for the French Quarter Festival. Now we're on our way going to the Oak Alley Plantation in New Orleans, and I'm going to let you sit back and watch this view. This is us coming up to the plantation. Unfortunately, you couldn't film inside the actual big house, but you were able to film other parts of the property. So before our tour of the big house, you can get the tickets to the big house only or the big house in the ground. So we got all of that. This is the back part of it where you can actually stay in bungalows and rent those out. And then they also had a restaurant on the location along with a bar that they sold mint julep, which is delicious. I honestly think they're the only ones that make them perfectly great. They also had a gift shop. They also had a replica of slave quarters on the property, but they were basically a working plantation where they lived there and they did sugarcane. This particular cabin had a lot of stuff as a museum for the slave that was on the property, what they would wear for women and men, the children. They also give you information about their one house slave that they had and break down the stuff that they purchased, what they did, the people. They have list of names of all the slaves that were on that plantation when it was a working plantation. It did sell over to 3 different owners, and then I think the 4th owner did not have it as a plantation. She had it as a cattle farm, and she later died at 93. Before she died, she actually went ahead and donated this for a museum to raise money of the education for people and to get more history and research on that time period. At this plantation, the house slave was in their own quarter, and to them, in that time, a house slave was at the top and the field slave was the bottom. So she would never stay in the house. The only time a house slave would be at the house if the owner or the children was sick, and she never slept. She was there just to take care of them. So she stayed up all night to take care of them at that time. Here is more information. I tried to videotape a little bit of different information so that you can read. So if you want to stop and pause it, you can. Now, this is the mint julep that I received. Delicious. The only part that you were able to record was when they opened the French doors so you can go on the wraparound porch and see the oak trees. These oak trees have been planted and have been around for 300 years and lived even though they had multiple hurricanes. The cool thing and the reason why these owner bought the property is because you can open the French doors to look down the path and see the Mississippi River. Due to all the flooding in New Orleans, they have now a mound of a wall to block that water from coming in. But overall, it was very beautiful.
Predate this mansion. Beginning in 1820, mature oak trees, at least 10 years in age, taken from the property, transported here with a large group of trees, were transplanted under Shop's brother-in-law's ownership. He will then acquire the property, and he will continue with the alley, but to ensure that the canopy will become uniform. The trees that he has transplanted are 25 to 30 years of age. By 1839, construction of the mansion began, and so is the formation of the alley. There are 28 trees, 14 on each side.
So on the side of this house, the property had a spot where they had overseers at that it's no longer there, but they do have a map with the information on it. And on the other side of the house, they actually have a home that was detached for the older boys. So when the boys turned 12, they will move over and they will no longer be inside the big house in the nursery. They will be in an attached property of the house with the home. That is no longer there. They moved that. Now this is a grave site of the owners that live there and their family. This is on site on the plantation itself.
That is fucking beautiful. Damn, that shit was pretty. I get it.
You have arrived. I didn't know where it was at.
That was fucking dope.
See, it says restaurant and inn. I should have sat in the back on your side. So we made it to the festival. It's also located every day, starting from a big Thursday to Sunday. Festival that you can get the app, which is cool. Your lawn chairs if you don't want to. They also have places that you can sit in a blanket, enjoy the music, have a good time. The great thing about this festival is it's right before the jazz festival, and you go here. So you get to walk around. It is totally free. It's here to Mississippi River. Enjoy some of the on great Saturdays. They do hospitality, the great weather, and French Quarter where they set up. But they have a lot of food. So if you want to tour New Orleans and eat great food all at one time, go to the festival because they have every type of restaurant in New Orleans. You get to try the food. The food is very reasonable. Me right now, I'm trying grits and shrimps. The grits had corn in it and bacon bits and chive, and the shrimps was perfect. It was so delicious there. You also could get drinks as well in that package. So it was a great way to have a little bit of taste of Creole and a little bit of Cajun as well.